Verse 1. Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai cometh, for it is nigh at hand. Call Hulayim La, Abanawa, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rekah, Chodash. Double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone who rule well. Salutations to the Akim out there on the highways and the byways. Salutations to the hopeful elect. Salutations to you speckled birds, you Israelite foreigners. And shalom to the Akwaf, sitting and listening in silence as the scriptures say to do so. Joel chapter 2, verse 1. Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai cometh, for it is nigh at hand. And that's what we are doing as the prophets, the seers, the watchmen, the mouthpiece, the spokesman of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. We're blowing the trumpet. As a matter of fact, we are those trumpets that's being blown. And what's being blown and declared is the words of the Lord, is the testimony, is the gospel, the good news, man. Okay, and furthermore, the Lord is giving you a chance to acknowledge what he's saying through his prophets and giving you a chance to repent and come back to him. Okay, but we all know that this is a predestination, okay, because man's goings are of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. Okay, and also too, this debunks a lot what you so-called wacky-tacky slave plantation Christians say, that the Most High is all about love. That the Most High is just love. He has no vengeance. He has no anger. He doesn't get upset. He doesn't get mad, etc. Okay, because again, blow ye the trumpet in Zion. Okay, not amongst all people. And what, you know, we preach and teach to all people, because our people have been scattered amongst all nations, you know, according to the curses. Okay, but the main message, okay, the message in general, Salaki, is directed towards Israel. And the only one's going to be able to understand, resonate with this world is Israel. You know, also roughly paraphrasing the book of Romans chapter 10, verse 1, I believe, our people have a zeal of the Most High, but not according to knowledge, man. Okay, so what we're doing right now, and what you're receiving and seeing, is mercy from Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. Okay, so as the title says, the covenant, the promises, the blessings, the consideration, the mercy, the compassion is all for Israel, man. Okay, all for Israel. So the trumpet is being blown right now. Again, Joel 2, verse 1, blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. So the alarm is being sounded. Okay, you know, you're going through, just like when you was in school, they would have a test run with the fire alarms, you know, to prepare you for what would happen and what will be what needs to be done in decency and in order if a fire broke out in the school. So, you know, you had a rehearsal and practice to go through the correct measures and the correct guidelines, you know, to be able to survive a fire. Okay, and that's all that's happening right now, is the Lord is, you know, having you be prepared for what's going to be brought forth, because when he brings the judgment, his vengeance, his righteous indignation, he's not going to draw it back. So right now, for you to hear this, to take heed to it, man. Okay, so again, the covenant, okay, the covenant, the blessings, the promises, the mercy, the compassion is only for Israel. And you know, this is a basic lesson, but it's always good to go into the basics. So let's eat, man. Let's let the Bible talk. Let's go to the book of Acts chapter 1. And let's eat, man. Let's go to the book of Acts chapter 1. Salakia. One second. This is Acts chapter 1, verse 6. When they therefore were come together, they asked him, and who was him? Yahushai. So they asked him, Yahushai, saying, Adawan, will thou at this time restore again the kingdom to Israel? So the 12 disciples at the time of Yahweh's departure to go back to be with the Heavenly Father in the spiritual realm, the 12 disciples asked Yahushua HaMashiach, will you now restore rulership, dominion, the kingdom back to the hands of Israel? They didn't say back to the hands of all nations. They didn't say back to the hands of the Edomites, the Ammonites, the Moabites, the Ishmaelites, the Hamites, etc. No, they said to Israel, Yashara Allah. He is Prince of the Power, man. Okay? And you know, it's a scary sight to see, because at one point we were in the same mindset, conducted ourselves how these people, our people, conduct themselves right now, man. But again, the Lord had what? Compassion. He had mercy upon us to be able to awaken us, flip that light switch on just like that, to activate us and have us resonate with this beautiful song that's being spoken and declared by his prophets, elder apostles, elder bishops, elders on down, and brothers, man. It's a blessing, okay? And furthermore, you know, our people, 2/3 of our people, and also Jake that claim they're in the truth but still want to save heathens, especially because the main heathen they're worried about is Esau. That's the main, you know, it ain't the Moabites, it ain't the Arabs, it ain't the so-called Africans. No, it's Esau, the so-called white man. That's who they're worried about, okay? And, you know, our people have what I like to call was a big brother syndrome, okay? A big brother syndrome. And why I'm saying that is because, you know, me, myself, put it this way. I had an older brother, you know, obviously the Lord took my older brother back in the 90s, but, you know, I wanted to prove myself to my older brother. I seeked acceptance and validation from my older brother, you know, and I wanted to be like my older brother. And that's the same type of mentality our people have when it comes to the so-called white man. They seek validation from Big Brother E instead of seeking forgiveness, okay, acceptance, okay, consideration, all the things that we're seeking from Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, man. Okay, so again, Acts chapter 1, verse 6. When they therefore were come together, they asked of him, Yahushua, saying, Lord, will thou at this time restore again the kingdom to Israel? Okay, so they didn't say other nations. They said Israel. You so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Native and Seminole Indians. Okay, the best people on the planet that don't want to be the best people on the planet. You got the heathens that want to be the best people on the planet. You know, roughly paraphrasing Ezekiel chapter 3, I believe. You know, the Lord said, if I had sent you to the heathens, they would hearken, they would listen. They're dying to be in our position. You know, look at what Esau is doing. Look what Amalek is doing, man. Look what these devils are doing just to be us, man. Okay? So this is the book of Joel chapter 2. Let's jump back here. Joel chapter 2. Because, you know, these things right now only apply for the elect. Adonai Ratazar, we are those lively stones. Okay? So this is Joel chapter 2, verse 27. And ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel, and that I am Salaki, I'm excited, and that I am Yahweh, your power, and none else. Let that sink in real quick. Because again, these are basic precepts. But it's always good to go into basics. And a lot of basic precepts hit heavy. You just got to take your time. Really listen to what's being stated and said. Okay? Because look, let's hold that. I'm gonna grab something real quick before I read the rest of this. See if I can find this real quick. Where would that be? Salakia. Okay, let's hold that right here, because I'm gonna line this up with this. This is Joel 2, verse 27 again. And ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel, and that I am Yahweh, your power, and none else. Okay, so let that sink in. So the Lord is saying, the Heavenly Father, the creator of everything we see, the Ancient of Days, who has no beginning, no end. He said, I am in the midst of Israel, and I am your power, your Father, and none else. There's no in between. It's strictly clear and none else. So what does that mean? That means Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai don't give a damn about these nations. He's only concerned with Israel. And right now, he's only concerned with his favorite portion inside of his favorite nation. Okay? So as we read that, I'm going to read this again. Joel 2, verse 27. And ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel, and that I am your power. So like that I am Yahweh, your power, and none else. So let's hold that. Let's go to the book of Psalms, chapter 132. And I'm going to go straight to the point. Verse 13 and 14. For Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, have chosen Zion. He have declared it for his habitation. This is my rest forever. Here will I dwell, for I have desired it. Woo! Let's read that again. I don't think y'all heard that. Psalms 132, verses 13 to 14. For Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, have chosen Zion, okay? Israel, you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Native and Seminole Indians, whose bloodline pedigree goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. It's not a skin color thing. So you'll have a lot of Israelites that's going to look like other nations, but their bloodline, their pedigree, their lineage goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Let's make that clear. Okay? For Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, have chosen Zion. He have desired it for his habitation. This is my rest forever. Here will I dwell, for I have desired it. So the Lord only desires and only wants to dwell and only will dwell amongst Israel. Okay? Tazayawan. In the Lashawan Kodash, Tazayawan. Okay? Which in the English, Zion. Okay? Period. There's no in between, man. We already have the victory. We just have to do what? Endure. Suffer patiently. Ask the Lord continuously to build us up. Because we don't need a plan B, a plan C, a plan D. We need one. That's Yahweh, why Yahweh Shai, man. So Joel 2, verse 27, let's finish it out. And ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel, which we backed up another precept with it, right? Khan. And that I am Yahweh, your power, and none else. That also refers to Amos chapter 3, verses 1 on down. Okay, the Lord declared he only knows us. Okay, and nobody knows the punishment, the chastisement, the righteous correction. You know, even though we get built to ASS, and we go through all type of HELL, all that. It's justified because, as they say in the world, you got to go through hell to get to heaven. You got to go through humiliation. You got to be brought low. You got to have a lot of experiences to be able to appreciate the good times that the Lord's going to bring forth, Okay, and ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel, and that I am Yahweh, your power, and none else. And my people, which is the remnant right now, not all Israel, and my people shall never be ashamed. And that, again, this only applies to the remnant. This doesn't apply to everybody else. This only applies to, Adawan Ratazah, us. Because we're not ashamed. You have, the beloved elder Manat Zakba, is going crazy, bananas on doing all these videos where you have the infamous nigger woman. You got Jakes that used to be in the truth, claim they used to be in the truth, bugged the hell out. And the Wadi to Yahweh Shim Yahweh Shai for putting the spirit and also conducting the elder Manat Zakba to construct those lessons through the power and spirit and words of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, because the main thing that I get from those lessons, I'm just speaking for me, but it should also be for you too, is that it's a reminder for us to stay sincere, to stay humble, and most of all fearful, man. Because these people giving these testimonies, even though whoever they gravitated towards and cleaved onto at that time, even if they were teaching wrong doctrine, which they probably were, You know, the one main thing that they knew is that they're Israelites. Okay, so, and a lot of them didn't have the name. A couple of them actually did. You know, you heard a couple of them say Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, but who were their teachers? You know, so you know it's just a reminder for myself just to be thankful, man, and to not take anything lightly when it comes to this truth. And just speaking for myself again, which it also should be for you too. But when I get up in the morning, man, I may forget sometimes, but also once I remember when I'm at the plantation, I say it in my head. I thank the Lord for waking me up. I don't want to rock the side, let me see the whole day, but most of all, still knowing him and his son's name, still understanding the breakdowns of these precepts, understanding prophecy, and having that spirit that he gave me, to move forward and to teach. And also asking for the Lord to, as King David said, my cup runneth over, man. But Salaki, this is Luke chapter 1, starting off at verse 68. Blessed be Yahweh power of Israel. Hold up. I think I'm reading that wrong. That has to say everybody. So, because God so loved the world, that has to say everybody. What world? Israel. Luke chapter 1, verse 68. Blessed be Yahweh power of Israel, for he hath visited and redeemed his people, and have raised up an horn of salvation for us in the house of his servant David. So this is the New Testament. In the New Testament and the Old Testament connect together, perfectly to complete perfection. And if you notice myself and various brothers, which I know me and another Shah do it on purpose, and a lot of lessons, we'll grab Old Testament precepts and New Testament precepts. We'll grab a Old Testament precept that'll line up with a New Testament precept in a lesson. And then we'll jump back to an old one, and then we'll jump back to a new one. We'll jump back to an old one. We'll jump back to a new one, so-called. Okay? So this Bible, it perfectly connects. Okay? Perfectly. And the only nation that can resonate and understand out of the predestinated lot is Israel. That's it. Okay? So the Lord has set up a horn of salvation for us. Only for us. But our people love to be slaves, man. And that also shows another difference between us and them. And we have a king mindset of rulership and dominion, and of righteousness too. Okay, of correct discernment. Continuing on, verse 70. As he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began. So this also lets you know that every single book in the Bible are the Lord's prophets, but who those prophets come from? The nation of Israel. So that lets you know that this book right here is our book. This book is our history. This book is our true culture. This book is our everything. This book is our family line. This book is the prophecies that have happened to us and the prophecies that are going to forecome. Okay, so again, you can't just pick up our book that was ordained and constructed for us. Again, the only people that can decode the Bible and break it down correctly, okay, is the nation of Israel, and furthermore, the predestinated lot, the house of the water, which is being established and built up right now. Okay, verse 71, Luke 1, verse 71, that we should be saved from our enemies. Do you hear that, Jake? That we should be saved from our enemies and from the hand of all that hate us. And we see every day that these people hate us, man. How can you not see that you have enemies? How can you not see that these people hate you. They hate your guts. They hate everything about you, man. How can you not see that? But yet, a lot of you fucking niggas want to talk about love, man. And Salaki, man, I just, man, this is hell. This is hell. How could you be comfortable? How could you be fake? How could you, just sit right here and see how our people are treated, everything that we go through, and to receive no mercy, no sympathy? Which, at the end of the day, these heathens and these Edomites, they're not supposed to give us no mercy, no sympathy. They're not supposed to spare. Because our people are off, man. Our people are wicked, man. Our people, they just don't get it. A bunch of can't get rights, man. Look, man, this is hell, man. This is a nightmare. You're continuously every day doing the same thing. The only thing that, which I pretty sure I can speak for every brother. The only thing that really brings me joy is this truth, man. The brotherhood, declaring the words of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, man. Everything else is the same routine, the same thing. It's insanity, man. You go to work, do your job at the plantation. You get off at the plantation, depending on what you do. You may go to the gym, get a workout in, okay? However long you do that, go home, get something to eat, do a lesson, get ready for work. Whether you pull out your clothes or take a shower at night, then get up, put your clothes on, then do what you gotta do and go out. It's the same thing, man. The work week go by slow, but the weekend go by quick, man. And the only day that I look forward to getting up, doing the real work, is going amongst my brothers, man. I look forward to Saturday, man. So when we had that time, a couple weeks back, when we couldn't go out, for those a couple of Saturdays, man, it didn't feel right, man. It didn't feel right. Because I couldn't be amongst my family, man. I couldn't see my brothers, man, joke around my brothers and everything else, and, pick, I'll pick with my brothers, man. They know how I am. But yeah, man, Salaki, man, I need to rant. Okay, but let's verse 72, to perform the mercy promise to our fathers and the remember of his holy covenant. So the Lord is going to give us comfort. The Lord is going to give us mercy. Okay, the Lord is going to give us sympathy. The Lord is going to give us restoration. Okay, what does that word restoration mean? The definition for that word restoration is happening right now for Israel, man. Okay, it roughly paraphrases, goes into shit. I can't remember it offhand, but it's a good precept. But how in the hell can any of our promises, something just came to mind, how can anything that we have and we do be for the heathen? When the heathen don't know Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. The heathen don't know what is going on, and we're going to prove that through scripture. So how in the hell can they partake in our blessing? They already blessed. They getting rich off of us, off of our backs, because Jake is the salt of the earth, man. We dominate everything. Okay, we're the best singers, we're the best entertainers, we're the best at sports. We look the best. We got the best charisma, flavor, all that. Everybody, again, as I said prior in another lesson, everybody wants to be a nigga, but nobody wants to be a nigga. They want to have the positive, the attraction, the talent, everything that comes with us. But as far as like the curses, they don't want to partake in that, man. They don't want the infamy. Okay, look at that word, infamy, that comes with us under these curses, man. Okay, so again, as the title says, man, the blessings, the covenants, the promises, the mercy, the compassion, all these perks belong to Israel, man. This is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 3, and I'm going to start off at verse 30. For I have seen how thou sufferest them sinning, and has spared wicked doers, and has destroyed thy people, and has preserved thine enemies, and has not sanctified it. Okay, so, we get judged swiftly and quickly by Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. But the Lord is letting our adversaries, the heathens, pile up they file, man. And matter of fact, to back up a precept, to get a precept to back that up, Salakia, let's grab this. Let me hold this, and I'm gonna read that again, so it can be understanding when I read the precept. Okay, so 2nd Esdras chapter 3, verse 30 again. For I have seen how thou sufferest them sinning, and hast spared wicked doers, and has destroyed thy people. So remember that part. And has destroyed thy people, and has preserved thine enemies, and has not signified it. So like it signified it. Okay, so remember that. Going to the next precept to line it up. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 12, verse 22. Therefore, whereas thou dost chasten us, okay, so therefore we get chastened, we get reproved, we get, belt to ASS, we get checked immediately by Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, quickly and swiftly, man. The Lord don't play around when it comes to us, man. Okay. Therefore, whereas thou dost chasten us, listen, thou scourgest our enemies 1,000 times more. Okay, so what is being done to us in this captivity, and through all the captivities, through all the judgments and everything that the Lord has done us. Well, I don't know why these people always come over and park over here, man. And it's a nigga too, man. Salakia, man. Let me just keep on going, man. So it's just like when you chastise your kids, because you want your kids to do right. You want your kids to move correctly. You want your kids to learn. And that also goes into what love. Those that give their child the ride, show love. And Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakatah, B'Shem Kakadash, to you beloved Akim on the comment board. Shalom, shalom. So let me read this on. To the intent that when we judge, we should carefully think of thy goodness. So what does that mean? That means because we're being set up to be the judges. I don't want to write this out. We are the first fruits to be the judges of the earth. So we have to have correct, balanced discernment. Okay? But let's jump back to 2nd Esdras chapter 3. 2nd Esdras chapter 3, verse 30. For I have seen how thou sufferest them sinning, and hast spared wicked doers, and hast destroyed thy people, and hast preserved thine enemies, and has not signified it. I do not remember how this way may be left. Are they then of Babylon better than they of Zion? No, they're not. They're not better us. They're not better than us. This is right now, we're going through what the Lord prophesied would happen. We have to go through these things, man. Just like we're praying for, the MOTB to come, Jacob's trouble to be full blown, etc. We're waiting for all these things to occur. All right. And nobody is better than the nation of Israel. Even at a lower state, we still dominate. That's a lesson. Even at a lower state, we still dominate. That's a lesson, Akim. So, and with us being at a lower state and dominating, everybody gets rich off of us. Because you always got a damn you-wish person that wants to sponsor Jake. And they'll give Jake like 1% of that money and take the other 9%. Okay? And again, that goes into the curses, Deuteronomy 28. Okay? Continuing on. Verse 32. Or is there any other people that knoweth thee besides Israel? And the Lord made it clear he doesn't know any other nation besides the nation of Israel. Okay? Or what generation have so believed thy covenants as Jacob? None. Because with what you're being taught here in Babylon the Great, a.k.a. America, a.k.a. Sodom and Gomorrah, a.k.a. Egypt, a.k.a. all these places balled up in one, what you're being taught here is a universal doctrine. You're being taught that the Lord is nothing but lollipops and kisses. You know, he's coming back to play double dutch with your daughter, and to have a pork and catfish fish fry. Okay, you know, nah, man. You're taught that it's okay to be a faggot. You're taught that, you know, God loves everything. God hates the sin, but, you know, God loves the person. You know, when it's the complete opposite, you know, the Lord hates both. Okay, you know, you're taught that come as thou wilt. All you got to do is say you believe in JC. And what's that thing they call the replacement theology or something like that? Come on, man. You know, Proverbs chapter 30, I want to say, you know, add not to his word, and you'll be shown and proven as a liar. Roughly paraphrasing that, man. Okay. And the main one doing it is Jake, man. Again, the curses, first and foremost, and you know, that Stockholm syndrome, man. You know, and also, you know, what was applied in the Willie Lynch letter, man. Our people are destroyed, man. Our people are destroyed. Okay. Continuing on, verse 33. And yet their reward appeareth not, and their labor have no fruit. Okay, because, you know, it's the fruitful works of darkness. It's not beneficial. It's not profitable. It's not profitable for the world. It's not profitable for, it's not profitable for themselves. It just condemns them, and our people gravitate towards that lifestyle and towards those customs, and they're condemning themselves, man. You know, they're going to receive the same judgment as Esau, man. You know, I literally heard a nigga say, if the so-called white man can't be saved, I don't want to be saved. Hey, you can't be shocked. How can you be shocked? You know, Jake, continuing on, man. And there through the, so like, for I have gone here and there through the heathen, and I see that they flow in wealth, and think not upon thy commandments. And that's right. They don't think upon the Lord's commandments, the judgments, how to correctly govern the earth. You know, look at the women, look at the kids out here, man, completely out of order, man, disrespecting you know, the elders, you know, they fathers. We know the so-called black, Native American, Latino. Well, basically the main one is the tribe of Judah, and you know, the Southern Kingdom, but mainly Judah. It gets no respect, man, no respect. Okay, the water, beloved, the water, no respect whatsoever, man. Okay, and we know the women got so much liberty because they've been liberated. You know, my body, my choice. You know, just, man, y'all know, man. Y'all know. I ain't even gonna speak on it. I'm gonna continue on. Verse 34. Weigh thou therefore our wickedness now in the balance. Okay, so Lord, weigh our wickedness. Okay, and then weigh the heathen. Matter of fact, let's do it like this. Weigh our wickedness. Weigh Israel's wickedness, Lord. Weigh the heathen. Exempt Esau, you know, put the others 16 heathen, then take Esau by himself, the nation of the Edomites by themselves, and weigh us all together. Let's see who's going to come on top, who's going to come second, who's going to come third. I bet you Israel be third. I bet you Israel be third, even though we know Jake is wicked as hell. We know it. But we don't have dominion, rulership over the earth like Esau. Esau's wickedness is above and beyond, man. He controls people's movements. I don't want to say destiny, but, you know, somewhat of that guidelines. I want to say something like that. You know, basically, he makes it hard for you to progress in society. Let's say it like that. You know, controlling your food, what food you get in your neighborhood. You know, if you can get a loan for a house, a business, you know, everything, man. You know, the devil literally got his hands in your pocket. The devil, man, look, man, this may sound grievous, but it's the truth. The devil got Jake's nuts in the sling. The Esau Edom got Jake's nuts in a sling. Okay? If you know what a sling is, you know what a sling is. I'll tell you. So let's say if you got your arm broke and you in the hospital, your arm's in the sling holding up like this. So that's how Esau got Jake's scrotum in a sling. Okay, continuing on. 2 Esdras 3 verse 34. Weigh thou therefore our wickedness now in the balance, and theirs also that dwell in the world. And so shall thy name nowhere be found but in Israel. Your name is, the Lord's name is only going to be found amongst the hopeful elect. Let's say that, which we hope and pray to be the elect. Okay, because you know people, as we see, Jake and the Truth still calling on JC. Other Jakes calling on Ahia. Other Jakes calling on Yehuda, Yahweh. Nobody's calling on the correct names, man. All right? Verse 35. Or where when was it that they which dwell upon the earth have not sinned in thy sight? Man, everybody is going on. Everybody's having a good old time, man. Everybody's loving what they doing, man. Because it's exciting. It's an adrenaline. It's an adrenaline. So like I'm excited. It's exciting. An adrenaline. I can't even say the damn word, man. Calm down. Adrenaline rush. Adrenaline rush. You know, it's like an adventure to Jake. And you know, the reason why I say it like that is because, you know, when I was in the world, I was doing wickedness, man. It just made your day so much fucking better, man. But now when you're awoken to the truth and you know what you just look back at what you was, man, you just be disgusted, man. I know I was, man. When I look back who I was in the world, man, I'm just disgusted, man. But the Wadi Haba Hashem Yahweh for taking me out the world, man. You know, continuing on. Or when was it that they which dwell upon the earth have not sinned in thy sight? Or what people have so kept thy commandments? Thou shalt find, listen, thou shalt find thou shalt find that Israel by name have kept thy precepts, but not the heathen. So how in the hell is what is promised to us, the blessing, the covenants, mercy, the restoration of our nation, the kingdom? And when I say the kingdom, I'm talking about complete rulership, dominion of the earth. You do what we say, you do what we tell you to do. But we ain't gonna do none of that, that bent hand stuff that Esau does. We ain't gonna do none of that. No, everything's gonna be done righteously, man. You know, as a matter of fact, let's grab this precept. So I'm gonna read it for y'all brothers, precepts on the comment board, and we're gonna close out. Because this is what, you know, we do this now, but it's going to be intensely more diabolical, treacherous, grievous, harsh, okay? Because we're going to have different minds. We're going to have new bodies. So right now, with us thinking about what we're going to do right now, it's small. It's minimum to how we're going to think in the kingdom. So this is Isaiah chapter 33, verse 18. Thine heart, okay, which is your mind, thine heart shall meditate terror. Okay, so we're gonna meditate terror upon the heathen, man. Okay, so you know, for you Jakes that talking about Israel's only going to be in the kingdom of heaven, no. Israel's not going to be only in the kingdom of heaven. What you need to say is everybody's going to be in the kingdom of heaven, which is going to be on earth. But there's only going to be one nation that's going to have complete dominion and rulership and ownership of the earth. That's what you need to say. Everybody's going to be there, but they're not going to like their position. And as far as like when you go back to the spiritual realm, everybody does go back to the spiritual realm in the so-called heaven. Everybody's there. Okay? So, Jake, if you know, a lot of these cats don't need to be out here teaching, man. Real talk. A lot of these cats don't need to be out here teaching. Let's see what y'all brothers got. I saw some brothers post some precepts. So, I'm at the plantation. We really ain't doing shit today. So, what the fuck is that? I ain't never seen that. Hey, Shalom, how about Shim Yashar Barakatah? Barakatham, Bahashim Kakadash, you beloved Aki and Wa Aqua. Let's see what you beloved brothers got. Shalom, Shah, if you're still on here. Shalom, Mom. All right. Hey, Shalom, priest. Good to see you, warrior. I'll read yours first. Psalms 98, verse 2. Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shah, have made known, his salvation. His righteousness have he openly shewed in the sight of the heathen. That's beautiful. That's your paw. And you know what? The heathen is more terrified than Jake, because the heathen know that it's a wrap. The heathen know that it's a wrap. You know, because the heathen know that, oh shit, the Lord has awoken them. The Lord has, told them who they are. Now they have understanding of the Bible. Now they have this, now they have that. I'm gonna read that again, man. That's beautiful. Psalms 98, verse 2. Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, have made known his salvation. His righteousness have he openly shewed in the sight of the heathen. And that's us declaring these words, breaking down these precepts, prophesying, because that's the spirit of prophecy is the spirit of Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, not the spirit of love. That's all you people know is love. Love your brother. You get your faggot asses away from us, man. Love, love, love. I love to put you in chains, man. I love to do what you did to my people. I love to vex your day. I love to apply pressure on your necks, man. Talking that love shit. Now that you done got control over the earth and everybody's under you, you want to talk about some fucking love. Fuck love, man. I'd love to do what you done to my people, man. I'd love to put you in the projects, man, with roaches and rats. I'd love to make you feel how we felt with no hope. And tell you how about Shimi Hawashai woke us up. Well, guess what? It's going to be no hope for you for the whole time, man. And it ain't going to change, man. You're going to suffer. How we suffered, you're going to suffer, man. Ain't no in between, man. Ain't going to be no fucking mercy, man. You ain't show us no mercy. Fuck you talking about, man. Love, 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 love. I love to do what was done to my nation. What you did to the so-called Gadites, the Reubenites, man. All the Native Americans. And I'm talking about not just Gad and Reuben, I'm talking about the so-called Latino Hispanic tribes. Because they so-called Native Americans too, man. What you did to all my people, man. Butt breaking my ancestors and stuff. Raping our women, man. Now you got these, man. Oh my God, man. Psalms 34, verse 18. Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, is nigh unto them that are of a broken heart. Yeah, man. Because again, this is hell, man. We desire to go home. We desire to be reconnected to our Heavenly Father. We desire to be reconnected with Yahweh Shai, man. We desire to get out of these prisons, man. These bodies that decay. You know, the food that is so-called food is chemicals, man. You know, and if you have the acceptable funds to be able to get organic, which is, man, goodness gracious, you shouldn't even have to say organic, man. It should already be organic, man. This man is the devil, man. This man is the fucking devil, man. How could you not want your slaves to be healthy, man? In our kingdom, you're going to drink real water. You're going to eat real fruit. You're going to eat real vegetables. You're going to eat a lawful food that'll keep you sustained, that'll keep you strong. Because we're going to put your ass to work. But see, Esau's so wicked. And, you know, the only thing he thinks about is death, kill, destroy, death, kill, destroy, steal, death, kill, destroy, steal, steal, steal. Give me your resources, death, kill, destroy. That's all he think about, man. If he had any type of, just like a smidget, which he's not, because the Lord made them to be wicked. You would want your slaves to be healthy. You would want your slaves to be able to keep on living till 80, 90 years old to make you more income. Because that's all we do. We work these jobs. We making the rich richer, man. I hate this place, man. Salakia. Oh, no, not Salakia. What am I talking about? Psalms 34, verse 18. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is nigh unto them that are of a broken heart, and saveth such as be of a contrite spirit. And that's right, man. And I don't want to rock the side, man. We be of that lot, you know, because we moaning and groaning for the Lord to bring the vengeance to destruction, man. Verse 19. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, delivereth him out of all of them. And that's what we patiently waiting on, man. We waiting for the Lord to deliver us out of all of those things, man. You know, and it's all going to be worth it, man. You know, Lord willing, we have a seat on the chariot. We have a crown waiting for us, brothers. We'll be able to hear from Yahweh Shai, good job, thou faithful and diligent servant. And, you know, you sisters that are really truthful and dedicated, you know, the Lord preserve you. If you don't have a man, he gives you a man to protect you in those times, and you get beamed up, you know, all the things that are needed, man. So I'm surprised my phone didn't click off. But yeah, man, this is, man, beautiful precepts, priest, man. I appreciate it. And Stockholm Syndrome is a rare psychological response where captives or abuse victims develop intense positive symptomatic, if I'm saying it correctly, if I'm not Salaki, I'm excited, or loyal feelings towards their captors or abusers as a survival mechanism. Now, I just think Jake loved being a slave, man. He just love it, man. But again, man, as the title says, man, all the perks on the title, the blessings, salvation, the promises, mercy, the covenant, it's all for us, man. And, you know, as you should know, we rolled in the spirit. I ain't writing nothing down for this lesson. Hey, man, it's a beautiful line for a lesson, man. You know, I highly advise you, beloved Akim, to copy and paste and add your own flavor to the lesson, man. You know, add on to it, man. You know, I rolled in the spirit. Lord willing, I might go home tonight and just grab a whole bunch of precepts and do a live stream, man. You know, I know you're gonna throw one up, priest. I can't wait. I know you're gonna throw one up. I know you got something boiling in the oven or boiling on the stove or something, you know what I mean? But yeah, man. Hey, man, I love y'all. I don't want to rock the Zah. Lord willing, to the next one. Shalom.